and I swear I had another one, but I'm just glad I got you guys to laugh, and I'm sorry to all of our viewers. You don't get to get in on the joke. I'm sorry. Maybe if you showed up early next time, you could hear the joke, right? That's how this works, I think. But I'm not in charge of that. I'm only Becca, the keeper of the arcane lore here on Iconic Productions, Call of Cthulhu, Horror on the Orient Express. JD is the one who's in charge of all that technical doohickey magic. I'm really glad I'm no longer in charge of that, and I'm very thankful for JD and all of her hard work. I am also super thankful to Phantom of Truth, who is our moderator in the chat, and he helps kind of keep us on track with the 1920s lore that we know, and corrects us every single time that we make up things, which is often. Before I get into the recap from last week, I'd like to reintroduce our players, our investigators, who, without them, there is no game. Therefore, they are very vital to this whole operation here. Let's see. Let me do this the correct way. Who's on top? Oh, on top, we have Rachel and Paul, who are playing Charlie and the Mason. They're good old American folk who have questionable morals. It's fine.
Sometimes. It was on accident. I didn't realize what I was doing.
We're going to get to that for all of you who are catching up here. Then we have Jenny, who plays Gertrude, another American over here in Europe. It's apparently the new American invasion. And then finally, we have Lee and Chris, who play Dr. Nellie Newton and Ricky the Baba. And Dr. Nellie is from good old England, and Ricky is from New York, or is it New Jersey? I never remember. Was it Boston?
No, it's New York.
New York.
New York?
As you can tell, he's super thrilled when I try to do an accent. He's like, yes, Becca, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfection.
Well, even when I don't say anything, apparently I'm being offensive.
He showed.
No, it's not offensive at all. I'm glad you liked my accent.
It was lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So maybe you were like our dear friends Lee and Chris, and you missed out on last week, and you have no idea what has happened. Or maybe you have continued to watch every single week, just like me, and so you're totally aware of what's happening. I can't quite remember all the details. Never fear, neither can I, which is why I have a notebook. And look, I found my sticky notes, guys. It's a good night. It's a good night. So, last week, the party, the investigators here, what did they do? They got on a train known as the Orient Express and had traveled towards Milan. While they were traveling, they had gone into the dream world, and upon waking up, had met the Duke, who attempted to hurt them, failed miserably, and then disappeared. At which point, the group decided they didn't want to go back to sleep, and were slightly traumatized by all that had happened the night before. Charlie got into a lovely conversation with the chef de train, also known as like the chief of the train, and they pulled into Milan after a little bit of a warning that Milan is no longer the city it once was. Well, that is true. As they stepped off the train and tried to remember where in the world they had hotel rooms, because nobody could remember, they realized that Milan seemed a bit more depressed, overcast, and perhaps disappointed with life. They also learned that Katarina Calavaro, the great Italian soprano opera singer. She's not a sopra. She's a soprano opera singer. Has been missing for the past 2 days, and it looks like she will not be there for opening night. However, her understudy is preparing, and the company is going ahead with the opera without their lead. The group, Gertrude, Charlie, and Mason, set out to the opera house in order to investigate what had happened to Katarina, to see if anybody knew anything. And while they were there, they found a very confusing maze-like backstage and a very lovely seamstress and costumer, Louisa, upstairs, along with her 3 old assistants. Louisa proceeded to flirt with Mason. Mason proceeded to flirt back until he remembered he had a wife. And then attempted to stop. And the group then headed back out into the streets. They were super wary heading out into the streets because on the way to the opera house, there had been an attempting mugging with Mason pulling a pistol from Ricky and intimidating them into fleeing.
I should have got rid of that gun. I feel like the police are after us now.
That's why I got rid of some of my cash on top of the stairs right outside Louise's door.
That's a good call.
I feel like out of all the reasons, that's not why the police are after us.
Also fair.
I think that our number one crime is we are Americans in Italy in 1920, whatever it is.
1923.
23, yeah. That's probably our number one crime.
Probably. Nellie and Ricky, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit here and ask you, while the rest of the group went to the opera house, what had you two decided to do? Did you want to investigate something else? Were you interested in just finding the hotel and taking a nap because of the previous night's exploits? Were you going to study the scroll? And perhaps go crazy just a little bit.
We're only study the scroll.
Yeah, you guys want to study the scroll? Cool. So, when you do that, the question is, are you going to study the Arabic scroll or the English scroll?
I could study the Arabic one and he could study the English one.
And then compare notes.
So, Gertrude and Nellie have both studied the Arabic scroll, or part of it. You're going to have to spend a total of 40 hours studying the Arabic scroll to really know what it says. Ricky and Mason have studied the English scroll, or at least part of it, and that will take 10 hours of study. And at the end, you'll gain some percentage in mythos, and you will lose some sanity. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
I sneezed like 3 times earlier and I almost puked from it.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm sorry, we are gaining what?
At the end of your study, you will gain some percentage in your mythos rating.
Okay.
However, you will also lose sanity when you do so. Because if you have read any of the excerpt that I have put in the Players in London document for you guys, you will see it is a little chew, I think is the technical term for it.
So I just need to roll for sanity?
No, you will lose it regardless.
Oh. Because I got a 4, but okay.
That's really nice.
When that part we talk about how much sanity we're losing in mythos and that kind of thing, would you remind me where mythos is on our sheet? Oh, excuse me.
It's in the bottom left corner. It's 5 up from the bottom.
Underneath climbs by
Ooh,
credit
yes,
rating.
I see.
Oh, it's under Cedar. And it ends. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So how much do we get?
I will tell you that after you've spent 40 hours studying the book or the scroll. So yeah, I will let you guys know when you lose sanity and when you gain your mythos. And after some time, you realize you haven't seen your companions in a few hours. You did know they were going to the opera, and you decided to go and attempt to meet them, perhaps catch them on their way out or onto somewhere else. And as you do so, you see 3 of your companions, Gertrude, Charlie, and Mason, exit the opera house and head down the street, seemingly with great purpose. Just as you were about to call out to them, another man, a tall, pretty square-shouldered, in a dark suit, calls out to them, "Halt! I say, you, stop!" And you see your companions come to a stop. At which point, Charlie, Mason, and Gertrude, you turn around and you see someone tall, imposing, dark mustache, glower, probably of a similar build to Mason. Looks like he can handle himself in a fight.
Wait, I'm sorry. We went outside to see this happen?
Yes, you. The hotel is very close to the opera house.
And then, do we know how many sanity points we lost?
Not yet.
Okay, just making sure I didn't miss something somehow. Okay.
Yep. You're good.
I suppose I'd just turn around and say, yes.
Charlie and Gertrude, are you guys stopping and turning around?
Probably, if Mason does. Buongiorno?
Buongiorno. You are the Americans who are investigating the disappearance of Katarina Calavaro, yes?
I think investigating is a strong word. I think we're just some friends, American friends of Katarina's, who are concerned for her welfare and looking for her.
You've been going around and asking the people questions.
We have something for her. We went to drop by her apartment, but we were having difficulty ascertaining exactly where that is.
Ah, I see. Do you have any identification on you? I need to check your passport to make sure you are not some of the other people we are looking for right now.
I would assume I would have a passport with me. So.
Yeah, you probably carry them on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull it out.
Might as well. I guess I would ask him who he is first before I show him my passport.
Yeah, and who he's looking for?
And why he knows we're
He's
looking.
not going to tell us who he's looking for.
I am
Hey,
Sergeant
Mike.
Benito Andriani.
What's his name?
Sergeant Benito Andriani.
Sergeant. So you're with the Polizia, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, not yeah. See. See.
Yeah, I would show him my passport. I'm fine with that. I would ask him also if he has any information that might help. Other than us going to visit her state apartment, whatever it
For
is.
the police to help you, or for this policeman to help you, I would like you guys to do a credit rating roll.
Okay, all of us?
Anyone who wants to try to get the police to help. Nellie, are you going to wait for the policeman or to leave, or are you going to approach now?
I guess I'd approach, and I'm probably bringing Ricky with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's just his nose.
So the policeman sees you approaching as well, and he starts passing back passports and turns to you and he says, Holt, are you with these people?
Yes.
Yeah.
May I see your passports, please?
Yes, sure. Here's mine. She'll distantly wonder if Ricky has like 10 fake ones.
Accurate.
And
Okay.
do we both do a credit check too?
If you would like him to get you to tell you anything, yes.
Okay.
I was not successful, oddly enough.
I was, so I succeeded my credit check.
Nelly succeeded.
Just a regular success.
Richard?
So I would like the record to reflect that back in Lausanne, I gave the police my my false name,
Yes.
and that's probably why I failed my credit rating check just now.
Okay.
Nice.
Mason, did you roll one?
I did, and I did not succeed.
Okay. So luckily Nelly succeeded.
Yes, I did.
And the policeman is going to appear to recognize your name.
Oh, good.
And hands back your passports after jotting down information about you guys. I'm sorry, Charlie, did you want to roll a credit rating?
She did.
Yeah, but I did not succeed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I assumed you did not, and I apologize. That is a false assumption on my part.
That's okay. I figured I'd try, but yeah, the odds were not in my favor. So
Yeah, they're not. It's
Mm.
yeah, not at all. He goes, Professor. See, so I seem to remember you were helping the police in Paris and London, also with some other deaths and disappearances.
Yes, it's been quite unfortunate.
Yes, see, very unfortunate. If you are interested, we could take your insight into another death, Ennio Spinola.
Who?
Ennio Spinola. He was a union man, part of the picketing outside the police station, but he turned up a few days ago.
How?
Dead,
But
obviously.
how?
Well, the death was from stab wounds and bleeding out. But the weird part is, he had tuberculosis. And he was a young man, and I do not understand how he got that. And it was so advanced.
He had tuberculosis and how old?
He was young. He was only like 21 or so.
41. That's not young for tuberculosis.
I just was looking at what my notes had told me.
Right.
It
So
was a
that's,
very advanced tuberculosis. It wasn't the new, just the beginning.
now the beginnings of tuberculosis. Do you mean that you're suspecting that this area could be infected?
Unfortunately, it is a possibility we are looking into.
Have you found any other cases? Have the hospitals started seeing more people?
No, not yet, for which we are very grateful.
Yes. Where did he turn up at the scene of the crime, or was his body moved?
His body was dumped in the river. I can find my notes. It's fine.
Nice. Also, side question, would I be able to know if what the Duke tried to cast on us was something related to a sickness like that?
If you recall, Nellie's skin turned black.
Trying to remember what tuberculosis looks like, and I do not. But it was worth
doesn't
checking.
look like your skin turning black.
Send it on over, you know?
I think it's tuberculosis is kind of similar to COVID in that there's lots
Yeah.
of coughing and there's blood. Sometimes blood, you can cough up blood.
People get really pale and skinny.
Yeah, and then you often die from underlying pneumonia as well.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Luckily, we've been vaccinated for TB at this point, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Have they in the 20s been? There's no vaccine yet?
Oh,
No, and as we take a slight side detour here, because this is what apparently Call of Cthulhu is all about, Colorado Springs was a popular place for TB patients to come to because of the dry air.
Yep.
As such, Colorado Springs has a law against spitting on the sidewalk. I don't know if it's been rescinded yet, but it was a thing back when I was in elementary school. Like, you could get fined for spitting on the sidewalk because of TB.
Yep.
So yay for inoculations.
yes.
Anyway, but no, at this point, there was no inoculation.
And there's no inoculation. Yeah, polio is still rampant as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of all that, Nellie and Ricky, when you guys had pulled into town, this was not the Milan you were expecting, especially what Katarina kind of built up in your minds, because she talked a lot about the architecture and the beauty of the place, the art and the music and the people and the dancing. And there's this kind of gray, pallid overtone to everything. And people seem to be slumped. Most of the time when you walk by a cafe, people aren't sitting upright in their seat. They're slumped over their table, over their coffee. You've even passed people weeping while clutching at like lampposts. And our other three friends witnessed a couple walking together, hand in hand, suddenly break out in a fight and part ways. So there's something happening in the city so that it's no longer the vibrant city you expected to walk into.
Something cozy.
So is this poor man's death an isolated incident, or have you noticed an increase in odd aggressive behavior?
Oh no, this is a single incident. We don't get many like this, which is why it's so puzzling.
Were you able to identify how far the body went in the river?
Let's see. We found it out by the port. If you wish to look for yourself, you can, but we don't really know where it came from. Right after the body was found, Katarina Cavallaro disappeared, and as if you've seen any of the newspapers, you know there's a lot of pressure on us to find her before tomorrow night.
Yes, absolutely understandable. So the body was found and then she disappeared? Or
Well, the body was found and then she arrived in town and disappeared.
okay. Do you think the two incidents are related?
I don't see how they could be.
Well, you were the one who was simply speculating and stating that Katarina had disappeared after the body was found. But anyway, okay. Well, if I can be of any assistance, I'm a forensic anthropologist, as you know, so bones and wounds and stabbings kind of are a thing that I am familiar with. So I could examine the body if you'd like me to.
We might do that. You come by the station, just let us know.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The police officer kind of looks at the rest of you, kind of nods, says, "Grazie," and turns around and walks away.
Do we want to take I would say take a detour to go to the police station, but maybe we just go there after. after we go to Katarina's. How's that sound, everyone? Cool.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Alrighty. So you guys head to Katarina's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Townhome.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. So you find this very luxurious townhouse, situated kind of right off the river. And you see the door, you see the house. It looks dark, like nobody's home, but you know that there is a good chance that the maid or butler or subservient is home.
I'll go up and ring the bell.
We're looking for an Isabel. That's all I know.
That's right. It is.
A young woman answers the door. See?
Isabel?
See?
Is Lady Katarina around?
Katarina, no. No, Katarina.
Can we come in?
No, Katarina.
No, can we come in?
So sorry, no, Katarina.
English?
No English.
French?
No French.
Italian?
E.
What do you guys speak? I don't even remember.
Benjamin Franklin?
I just want to point out that our freaking mobster Italian American doesn't speak Italian.
That's racist.
It's xenophobic in a
Racist.
positive light. My dog is attacking me.
Yeah, he is.
Just
Even
well,
Hank thinks that's
yeah,
inappropriate.
well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I've seen The Sopranos. Ow, Hank. Anyway,
Only knows small bits and pieces and whatever else, but I'm just.
stop.
Should we?
Moving on.
We could say we're here to drop something off. Yeah, because we are. We're here to drop something off. Can we go put it inside?
No.
Package? Do you know that word?
Okay.
Yeah, do we actually have something for him? That's a great question. But also, I just want to go inside. Let me in.
Why doesn't someone keep Isabel occupied here at the door? And perhaps someone else could slip around the back.
I don't flirt with girls anymore.
Since he remembered he's married.
Also, she doesn't speak my language, so a little more difficult there. Ricky?
I feel like the story character piece here, there's no way Ricky doesn't know Italian. Or at least basic conversational. How did he speak to his grandmama?
Mostly
Well-
Italian grandmas hit him on the head a lot.
Ricky, do you know Italian?
I'm ready to just say no because everybody is throwing such a fit about this. Oh my God, like, chill out. Here I am trying to defend myself to other people. I mean, I'll say what I just said in the chat.
Okay.
I didn't know we were going to be in Europe. I didn't think about picking other languages. I'm just going to have it in English and be a brat about it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So,
But-
Ricky
Excuse
only
me. I'll be
knows
back in a few.
English.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm at a loss. We could go to the police station. That's all I got.
Okay.
We're break in, but she's here, so there's that.
Well, the dead body of Katarina is probably not in here if the maid is not, like, terrified.
I mean, she might seem a little scared to me.
Yeah, because she doesn't know your language and you're trying to get in her house.
Yeah. Scary big
How
American
does
man.
she know we're not Lady Katarina's body? I'm not Lady Katarina's bodyguard, you know? I mean, obviously I would have done a terrible job if I was, apparently, but... yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so what's the plan, guys?
Well, I will actually kind of tap Mason on the shoulder and suggest that he scooch out of the way for a minute. And I will just take out a couple, let's see. Trying to think here. Got a couple of bucks. I'll pull out a little bit of cash. If I have any actual dollars, because that has a interest factor, pull out just a couple of dollar bills and sort of hold them towards her. Can I come in and see Katarina's room, please? I'm a friend.
No, Katarina. She no here.
Right.
We know.
We're looking for her. Where did she go?
She starts rambling in Italian. She's explaining something to you all. If anybody wants to roll some luck.
I will
does anybody
roll
have
some
like
luck.
a pad of paper or something so she can write it down and go get a
Holy
train
cow. I got an extreme success on a luck roll. I don't know if that means much, but I did.
Okay. With your extreme success, you would gather that she's telling you she never saw Katarina arrive here. She never made it back to the apartment.
Okay. I give her the money anyway.
No.
For Isabella. For Isabella.
All right, she takes it.
Seems weird. Okay, so she never made it here. Maybe...
Where was the last place she was seen? Was it on the train?
She got
Or
off
was
the
it at the
train and got
house?
into a car.
She got off the train and got into a
She
car.
did get off the train.
Okay. Not knowing where the car goes, it kind of trails cold.
Mhm.
Wait. We could go back to the train depot and see if any personnel were working at that time to see what type of car, like if it was a taxi.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also,
go ahead.
Nellie, since you're here, they couldn't remember where the hotel that Katarina said she was staying was. Do you remember? Or where Katarina got rooms for us? You? Not me, because I wasn't with you, but Mason and Charlie just were not able to recall.
You're gonna
I
have
know
to
I
give me
went
like
with option 3.
I feel like that was a while ago.
On that note, while you look that up, we could always just go to the police station. They might have more information.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably our best lead, in a sense.
Yep.
So, to the police station.
All right. So you guys head to the police station, and as you are going, you realize you are getting closer to the police station as some sort of chanting, and it sounds kind of like a protest chanting, gets louder.
Ooh. So it sounds angry?
Not like it's about to break out into a riot angry, but like that rhythmic, loud chanting.
Gotcha.
I mean, the police officer did say there was some protesting. I assume as we get closer, there's protesters outside of the police station.
That they were picketing. Yeah.
Is that true, Becca?
Yes, they are picketing.
Okay. Are there any odd people, maybe on the outskirts, looking at the protesters? Since one of the protesters was killed, maybe someone would be scouting to take another person.
Make another one. Make a spot hidden check.
Can I also do that? But since I have read a little bit of the scroll, be looking for people that are missing any obvious parts of skin?
Sure.
I did not make my spot hidden roll.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, have netted a... Actually, I'm going to just use a luck to make that a extreme success.
Okay. Cool. So no, it does not seem like anyone is lurking and watching the crowd mason. You do see that there is a sign that says "Justice for Ennio Spinola," and Gertrude, as you are looking at the group, nobody in the group seems to be having any skin issues. However, there is a man watching the group. And you wouldn't say he has any skin issues, but he is really thin.
Mm-hmm.
With very nice rosy cheeks. Like, it's an odd juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm.
Tuberculosis-y?
If he looked pale and chalky, yes, but he does not look pale or chalky. His
I
cheeks
bet.
look robust and full of health.
I bet he has some sort of a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet he has tuberculosis and he stole that guy's life.
Probably so. I will try to make note of, I want to get a real good beat on him so I know what he looks like, so I'll recognize him again and maybe to be able to describe him to the police and see if they can keep an eye out for him.
Okay. Cool. Which police do you go in to talk to?
There's multiple police?
I mean, do you guys go in or... Okay, so you guys head in. There is a whole lot of busybody police work, and yet at the same time, you see over half of the police officers are kind of sitting at their desks with their heads in their hands, kind of slumped. There's about 6 who are slumped and about 5 who seem super busy running around. You do not see your friend, Benito.
Was that the officer?
Mm-hmm.
I think Natalie's just gonna go up to the registration intake reception, whatever, desk. And she's going to say, what time is it? Is it evening, morning,
It's mid-afternoon. Well, you guys got in about noon, 1-ish. So it is getting close to evening.
All right. So she'll say, good evening. I was asked by Officer Benito to come here to investigate the body of Mr. Espinosa. My name is Dr. Nellie Newton. Here are my credentials. I'm a forensic anthropologist.
The gentleman behind the cage kind of looks at you kind of questioningly, pulls your credentials forward, kind of flips through them, pushes them back to you and says, Spinola. See?
Oh, Espinola, that's yes.
See, I can take you to the party. Are your friends wait here?
Nope. We go to.
Actually, I only need one of them. The rest can stay here in the lobby. That one, unfortunately, is going with me. He's a bit of a loudmouth, that one.
Yes.
He is studying under me. He'll make a fine anthropologist one day.
Oh,
He just
God.
needs to keep up shut, if you know what I mean.
The lieutenant kind of looks up and down Mason. Is like, really? Doctor?
Or anthropologist.
You got to be able to move the bodies, right?
I mean, sure.
They
Everyone
fed
got
him a
hobbies.
lot of broccoli when he was a child.
He and gestures towards you two, and he will take you down to the morgue to see the body. That leaves Gertrude, Charlie, and Ricky in the middle of a very busy and yet also very static police station. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're waiting, or are you just going to wait quietly?
I would like to go talk with one of the kind of down on his luck sort of police officers.
Okay.
Do the normal, bright young thing, cheery chit chat.
Okay. We'll get to your flirting in a little bit.
Didn't say flirty.
You went to go talk to a bright young thing. Yeah, that's flirting.
I'm the bright young thing.
Oh. Right. All right. So Nellie and Mason, you are taken down below in the morgue because that's where the body's being held. And you get the understanding that part of the protest outside was the fact that the body has not been released back to the family, as well as the fact that there seem to be absolutely no leads and the police don't seem to care. They're much more concerned about the upper class soprano opera singer than the middle class automobile worker. So you go down and you find that he has a lot of stab wounds in his chest.
Hank is playing with Squeak Toy. Has an autopsy been completed yet?
See, and he hands it to you. It's all in Italian, but since, most of the things would be in Latin anyway. No worries. And you see...
oh my gosh, she speaks Latin.
Latin and Italian are actually quite different, so...
well, then I
don't beat yourself up.
Okay.
No, you're good. But with, the medical notes...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll be able to figure out the medical pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm skimming through the report, what does it look like?
It looks like he died from blood loss.
Yeah.
And with over a dozen stab wounds, that makes sense. But they are all localized in his chest. And there's also a note that he has advanced terminal tuberculosis. He would have been living with this for 30 years.
Were the stab wounds, so the entryway was facing, they stabbed him face forward, he saw them coming.
Both.
So he's both stabbed in the back and stabbed in the front.
And as
So
you
front-
and as you take some time to look at it, the stabs in the front seem much more surgical. The stabs in the
Mhm.
back seem much more violent.
So she's going to look at the autopsy report to see if any of these stab wounds were post-mortem.
No.
They were all pre. Okay. So there's already been an autopsy.
Does the person still have a heart? And or all of its
There's-
organs?
Yes. All of the organs are there. It's just that the lungs are the wrong age for this guy.
Nellie wants to reopen the autopsy, and because this is like
Well,
that anthropologists do.
right, your credit reading was normal, right?
Yeah.
As you go to open it, the police officer goes, "Oh no, pardon, no."
I can't see. You asked me to look at this. If you're the ones who are saying that there are no leads, if you allow
No.
me to look at this.
We did not ask you.
Officer Benito specifically did.
Who's Officer Benito?
What? Did you just let me randomly come down? I could have been a freaking sadist for all you knew.
You showed me your papers. You said you were an anthropologist.
Yes, which is why I should be opening this body.
Also, hold up. There's no Officer Bonito?
Scusi, and he leaves the room.
I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad idea.
You follow him up to his captain's office, and he goes in,
I'm
and
gonna open the body up.
older man, who then stands up and sees you waiting. See, are you the American anthropologist who wants to cut open the body downstairs?
No, she is downstairs. Nice. Hey, he'll match me. I have a nice handlebar mustache too.
Right?
Uh,
Oh, it is comparable to yours.
good. I expect nothing less. Anything less should just be shaved. Anyways, I'll say, do you have a Sergeant Bonito?
Sergeant Bonito. Bonito? No, there is no Sergeant Bonito.
What was his last name? You guys remember?
It's Benito,
Benito?
not Bonito.
Thank you. Benito?
No Benito.
Is there another police station around here?
Yeah, is there another police station?
See, on the far side of Milan.
They would know if somebody had a first or a last name. Just because we don't remember it doesn't mean that they wouldn't know. There is no.
Is that accurate, Becca? Are you just testing us?
Even if you pull out the name Andriani, there is no Officer Benito Andriani.
Cool. I'm gonna let him know that there was someone impersonating a police officer who basically sent us here.
That is not good. And you just came? You didn't check the officer's credentials?
I did. I even asked.
Yeah, he never gave them to you.
Well, I asked about it.
Sure, you did, and he turned around and walked away.
No, that was like the first thing I asked before I showed him my papers.
Yeah, he never gave you anything.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks for that. Cool. Well, I'm gonna say, please come downstairs. There is an anthropologist here who would like to assess this body.
All right. And he
By
turns
the
and he
way,
walks.
Becca, just so you're aware, she's already opened the body up.
Becca is aware.
Okay.
The police captain is
Okay.
not. aware of what you're doing. Don't worry. I know how you work. Okay, so yeah, he locks up his office and he walks down the stairs. Charlie, you had seen Mason follow somebody up. The captain come out, follow Mason back down, and you and then Ricky turned back to watching Gertrude flirt with this younger police officer who's just like, see, how can I help you? If you have a problem, please write it down. We will get to it as soon as we can.
Oh, I mean, I'm fine. We were almost robbed. So there is that.
Please give me a description of your attackers.
Oh, excellent. Charming of you to be so willing to help a young lady out here.
Yes.
There were 3 of them, I believe. Is that right? No, there were 6 of them. How many were there, Becca? There were 6, weren't there? I think. There were 6 of them.
Attackers.
Maybe 3, but they were big, And they were coming after us in an alley with knives out, and they wanted our money. We didn't give them any. We just ran away. It was fine. Then we went to the opera house because we were looking. We have tickets for our friend, Katarina, who's supposed to be singing, and she's not at the opera house, and she's not at her hotel, and she's not at her
apartment. We do not know where
apartment.
she is, and we cannot give any statements to the public at this time.
That's fine. You must be just absolutely drowning in work.
See, drowning in the work.
Has everything been all right? Like, are you okay? Is there anything that, a young American lady could do for you? Get you some coffee, maybe an espresso, or a nice pastry or something?
Thank you for your concern. We will look into these attacks.
And I'm sorry, this is probably going to sound absolutely crazy, but have you had any reports of people, across like skinned body parts or anything strange like that, where people are missing parts of their skin or limbs?
If you have another crime you wish to report,
No.
please know we will fill out the paperwork.
Actually, this is more of a personal interest. I'm writing some detective novels, and I just wanted to know if you had heard of anything, or if you might, be able to help a friend out.
I don't have any information on skinned individuals.
You're doing great.
Well, all right, but thank you. And what was your name, dear sir?
Excellent question.
Just count on it. Becca. I always ask NPCs' names. That is something I always do.
I should know better. I am Alberto. Something.
That's a great last name. I like it.
Alberto Giovanni.
Alberto Giovanni. Excellent. Well, and Alberto, if you need anything or just want to talk to someone who is a good listener, you can find me at, let's see, which hotel are we staying at? I think it's at La Gallery, the one near La Scala, near the Opera House. You
If
can.
you have any information on your attackers, we will contact you.
Thank you so
Grazie.
much. Thank you. Can I get through that conversation? Can I get any sort of sense of what is his problem? Is he just tired and disgusted with life, or is there something else going on?
It is not a disgusted with life. Ooh, I like how I start to glow when I pull open yeah, it's not a disgust with life. it's just, it seems to be one of the things where, like, nobody just seems to have any energy.
Okay.
Like, there's an emotional emptiness.
Emotional emptiness. I'm definitely writing that next to his name, that he's emotionally empty.
All right, so Mason, you take the captain back downstairs, and you hear more bingo as you see Nelly has opened the carcass back up, or the corpse. Sorry, it's a corpse. The corpse back up and is taking, I'm assuming, tissue samples.
She's also, I'm gonna roll for investigate on the lungs, and she's also gonna take blood samples from both the lungs and the body.
Okay.
As I'm walking with the police officer, I'll ask him about
Where am I?
whatever her name is, Katarina, and ask if he has any information on the vehicle, as we are her friends. Well, as we are partially investigating where she has gone.
Okay. So you had she got into a black car called an Alfa Romeo. These cars
Nice car.
are actually manufactured on the northern suburbs of Milan. He lets you know that the rumor was the driver was an old flame of Cavalleros.
Okay.
Roll me an anthropology check, Nelly.
Can I help since I'm her assistant?
No, you were walking with the captain while she was doing all this.
Okay.
I heard suggest.
A hard success, nice. Even without all the rest of your tools, it is clear that the lung tissue does not match the rest of the body tissue.
That's what I assume.
It is nearly 40 years difference between lungs and body.
Could she quickly do one of those? I think it's like an iodine test, and I know they've got iodine in a morgue, where you put the drops of blood on it, and then the different colors react, and it shows like the different blood types.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are 2 different blood types.
Yeah. She'll turn around as he wrote to Bene or whatever he just said, and she'll say, these lungs don't belong to him, or if they do, they are severely malformed and frankly probably undergo massive amounts of radiation. But my first assessment is these lungs actually don't belong to him at all.
How? That doesn't make any sense.
No, especially because did your medical examiner or coroner, whoever you prefer to use, did they note that there were any lacerations or wounds or surgeries to this person? Was this a transplant? I don't think lung transplants existed in the 20s, but whatever. Yeah.
Lung transplants did not exist in the 20s. So the doctor, or so the officer, the captain kind of looks at you and was like, no?
Well, did they care to check? Or did they just see a lower middle class person and decide that it's a simple stabbing?
Our report was that he bled out, but you were saying that perhaps it wasn't the stab wounds that killed him.
No. I'm saying that potentially post-mortem, somebody could have very surgically, very acutely, very, very intentionally put different lungs inside of this one's body and removed his old ones.
Sorry, I gotta see if the captain will suspend his disbelief or have a suspension of disbelief. Yeah, no. He kind of just looks at you and he goes, "That makes no sense. Why would someone do that? If the body is dead, then the lungs are dead, so why would they transplant it?"
Why would Jack the Ripper remove or replace organs at his own whim?
Because he's English.
Those two aren't necessarily indicative of each other. However, what I mean to say is that sometimes people are actually evil. And if they're actually evil, I have a feeling that this isn't an isolated incident and you'll be seeing more of it.
I'll have my men go through the records and see if we found anything from before. If we do, where can we find you, Dr. Newton?
Oh, right. I am staying at a hotel of which I don't remember any of their names because I apparently never wrote them down.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down yesterday.
I'm staying at
La Galleria Vittorio Emanuele.
Yeah, that one.
There's some.
It's a Galleria is. This isn't quite correct, but I'm almost picturing it like when you walk into a super mall and you have, all the shops and everything. So you have all these stores in the Galleria, and then you have a hotel attached to it, and it's also right next to the Opera House.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have the Galleria, there's a lot there, more than just the hotel. But the hotel is one of them, and it is a very swanky hotel. And yeah, you guys have rooms that Gertrude paid for, I think?
Yeah, I think Gertrude paid for them.
Thanks.
Well, Gertrude's grandpapa is paying for them, but we'll get to that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Weird. Okay.
Okay. The captain also gives you he will give you the newspaper clipping of where the body was, like, about this body, Ennio Spinola.
Mm-hmm.
For you guys to read to, and he says, if you want to look into it, you are welcome to.
Thank you. I would like to, at this point, I will close this up. I do want to look at your case file.
Okie dokie. You ask him, and he kind of, like, looks at the clock, looks at you, and he says, can you come back tomorrow?
Nope.
I will have them all out tomorrow for you. At this time, I'm afraid our clerk has gone home for the night.
We're happy to dig them up.
At this point, the clerk has gone home for the night. Yeah, he's not going to let an American into his records office. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no.
We can come back tomorrow. As far as I just want to, while I have you here, is the officer who found the body here?
See, Officer Alberto Giovanni.
May I speak to him?
Of course it was.
See, you'll find him up at his desk.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll just be a second. I just need to stitch this back up. At this point, honestly, though, do you anticipate putting him on ice, or are you surrendering him back to the family?
Unfortunately, unless we get more information, there's no reason not to give him back to the family.
Well, I will just do this, and she'll just snap a little bit, scalpel a little bit more of a tissue sample, take one of her vials that she always has, slide it on in there, and take the iodined 2 tests and put those neatly in her bag and say, right, I have everything I need then. You can deliver the body back to the family.
Okay. The captain does not know how to handle that.
Actually, one second. And she'll pull out her camera and start taking some very close pictures of the lungs as well as the butterfly. You know, that's what when I went to a medical examiner's office in Chicago, they called it the butterfly because they were like, well, it's pretty in a way. And I'm just like, I'll never forget this. So she'll take pictures. She'll also take pictures really closely to his hands, his fingernails, his face. And then she'll be like, right, finished. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys upstairs have been waiting. None of any of the officers that have been tired and slumped at their desk have not moved. They haven't gotten up to leave. The other officers have gone in and out, sat down, stood up, and most of them have switched out with their night crew. So now the moving officers are all new.
Well, if I see the crew changing, I'll just go back over to Alberto and ask if he's going to get off soon.
See, I'll get off soon.
Well, it's just, it looks like most of your companions have already left, so is home keeping supper warm?
There's no one at home. No one at all.
Not sad.
Enthusiastic.
They're still looking into the muggings.
Oh, of course. Don't waste any. Don't let it keep you here on your account. It was, no harm done.
Anything else we can help you with?
No. Just make sure you get some rest.
Have a good time in Milan.
Thank you.
Does Nellie come back from the morgue now? For poor Giovanni. Okay.
And yeah, you see Gertrude kind of like throw up her hands next to an officer that you see is Alberto Giovanni.
It was an adventure.
Perfect. I'll walk over and ask if he has the report on the dead body. As the captain has said, we
Here it
can have
is.
access to it.
And he hands you a skinny file.
Cool. I'll probably pass that off to Nellie and say, hey, I found the file.
That was way easier. I half expected us not to find it, only to come back tomorrow and it me mysteriously disappeared. But that's wonderful. Can you do copy machines exist in the 20s? How do they replicate files?
You take a picture of it, or you handwrite it.
Oh, she'll hand her camera over to him and say, pictures, and she'll go over to Officer Giovanni.
Okay, I guess I'll be taking some high quality pictures.
Don't get too wobbly. So she'll say, are you Officer Alberto Giovanni?
See, how can I help you?
I just have a few questions regarding the body that you found in the river.
See,
When you found the body, was the body floating, sunken, face up, face down?
it was face down on the banks.
Face down on the banks. Hank, off. Sorry. And when you found the body, did you identify how long that it had been on the banks?
I had not identified.
That's fine. I briefly looked over the coroner's report. However, that's kind of somewhat inconsequential at this moment. Okay. Did it feel... Was the water touching the body, or was it completely on the side of the bank?
There was water around his legs.
Okay.
He hadn't been in the water long. He wasn't bloated.
Hadn't been in water long. I could tell he wasn't bloated by looking at his face. He had a jawline. In your opinion, was there anything in particular or strange about this body when you found it?
It had been stabbed.
How was your mood prior to finding this body?
It was another day.
Would you describe another day as bleak, or would you describe it as optimistic?
It didn't really matter.
Neutral. Why did you want to become a cop officer, Giovanni?
I became an officer to help my family. After the war, there was nowhere else for me to work.
So you're a veteran?
Yes.
Tell me, did you always have a crushing sense of depression looming over you, or was that after you found this body?
I don't know.
Can you recall how you felt prior to finding this body?
Indifferent.
Would you say that's an actual accurate representation, or you feel that you can't actually recall how you felt prior to finding this body?
Before I found the body, I was indifferent. Now I'm indifferent. Nothing mattered. It hasn't mattered for the last few months. Who cares?
Few months, okay. Right.
Your American friend is really nice.
Yes. Wait, which one? They're all American. I don't know how I ended up with a bunch of Americans, but I did. Which one?
The short, pretty one. And again, Charlie and Gertrude are both short. And both pretty.
Would you say that that short, pretty one amplifies your mood in a positive light?
I'd want to take her to see the opera again. But it doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
Nothing does.
Nihilistic behavior. Do other people share your sentiments?
I don't know.
Right. Well, I will let you know that lots of things matter. Your family clearly matters, which is why you even became an officer in the first place. Secondly, if nothing mattered, then your desire to take someone out to an opera house wouldn't exist because it didn't matter. Therefore, I think you should ask her. And I'm quite sure she'd say yes. She has no clue. She's just lying out her booty.
Maybe another time. I don't have tickets for the opening night.
Well, there is no opening night right now without Lady Katarina, isn't that correct?
No, they're going to go on with her understudy.
Right, her understudy. Who is that?
Good question.
It is a good question. One we should have asked at the Opera House.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
Yeah. It's that important detail.
I'm not saying that they kind of were overwhelmed by the backstage, but I think I overwhelmed them with the backstage.
I mean, there's a
Just
lot
a
of
little.
body parts and people. And,
Flirting ladies.
yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's just when your leading lady disappears, the person that has motive is always the understudy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys. Why is it so hard to find this information? Guess it's not her. Here we go. Maria Dimatina.
Thank you. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you, Officer Giovanni.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good night. Just gonna sleuth away.
All right. Hey, Mason, how are your photography skills?
If there's actually a photography skill, then I didn't know that, but I did make a roll and I did well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
What did you
mean,
roll
I rolled a 22.
for?
I mean, for
What?
my fake photography skill that I made up just to see if I just didn't get good photos, because I wanted to be real about it. Why would it be sleight of hand?
It's actually probably correctly under arts and crafts.
Ooh.
But
Mhm.
that's for if you want to take artistic photos, or if you really need to learn how to use the camera or take it apart or anything, I would use that. However, we could do this under just a no or education or an intelligence.
I feel like intelligence makes sense.
So you know what to get. Yeah. All right, so you were successful. You got pictures.
Yep.
Gertrude, Charlie, and Ricky, you join Nellie and Mason and leave the police station. And as you guys
Yes.
step out, the night is dark.
Yeah.
There is no moon. You don't expect to be this dark this early. It is winter.
Because that was gonna be my next question. I thought it was mid-afternoon.
You guys got into town about 1. You spent several hours.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you've been running around town.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it's maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it is dark. It shouldn't be. It should be twilight-esque, maybe dusky. But it shouldn't be dark yet.
Any chance we can get an escort home?
You want an escort home?
I'll ask for one.
Give me a credit rating.
Did not do well.
Okay, an officer looks you up and down and is like, you can't take care of yourself?
It's for the ladies. All right. Well, fine. If you don't want to impress them, I'll do it myself.
And Alberto just kind of sighs heavily at his desk over in the corner.
I'll say,
Alberto,
Alberto,
are you sure you
are
don't
you treat-
want me home?
Yeah, don't you want to swoon Lady Gertrude?
All right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's not going to be much help.
Or he's just going to be the next one to die.
And he stands up slowly, puts his hands in his pockets, and kind of shuffles over to the entrance with you guys. He is going to be walking with his head down and letting you guys lead. So
That's fine, I guess. I'm going to keep my head up because I still expect these thugs to show up at some point.
I'm going to walk next to Alberto and just, keep a stream of inane chit-chat just going at him, whether he responds or not.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm walking to Ricky because that's arguably the person I feel safest near. He's the most
Pull out
dangerous.
guns and knives and brass knuckles at any time.
Yeah.
I think Charlie and Nellie are sticking pretty close to Ricky. And Mason, you're leading the way.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going?
I assumed you would go back to the hotel.
We should get some dinner. Charlie's probably hungry by now.
Yeah, I'm starving. We didn't even have afternoon
We
tea.
could get some dinner and observe the people, and also Nellie could regale everybody with what she just discovered.
Yeah, and especially that bit about the we should put the two and two together about the newspaper clipping about where he was found, as well as the kind of car that Katarina was taken away in.
Yep.
Okay. You guys find a brightly lit cafe. It is it's gone. So say I had a name for it. And it's not there anymore. And it's a pretty happy place. You kind of feel more comfortable in it. However, you still see in the cafe people seem to be losing their energy super abruptly. So there will be the couple that or the group that is talking quickly and in high spirits, and then they all just stop and slump. Alberto shakes Gertrude's hand and then shuffles off. Home, maybe?
Do we happen to see that same guy we saw earlier anywhere around? Which guy? The
Rosy-cheeked guy?
Yeah, skinny red cheek guy. I feel like if he's super white, he'd stand out in the dark.
He would, but he does not seem to be on the streets. And you guys get to the cafe, sit down, order food. Charlie attacks with gusto, and you guys begin discussing and make your next plan. What are you guys gonna do?
I mean, it sounds like we go uptown, right? Go to the other side of town.
To do what?
Because that's where some of the clues led.
The body?
Yeah.
So
we
the
could-
body was found at the factory where the cars are made, and Katarina's old boyfriend drove her away in one of those cars. Maybe he worked at the factory too.
Yeah.
Know who the old boyfriend is?
We read the file. We might have found something in there.
I mean, she's also
There
a figure.
Yeah, there were no names for who that boyfriend is. It's just police are going, well, we don't have any other guesses. Maybe she left with a boyfriend.
Well, what I'm saying is couldn't we look at tabloids to find names of boyfriends?
Mm-hmm.
You go through some tabloids. All right. Going through tabloids. A few different articles pop up. Unfortunately, none of them seem to be about any old flames. Or Katarina.
I would also volunteer to help Nellie later develop her photographs. I'm assuming that would be a chemistry-based thing, because I can do that.
While they do that, I'm going to be reading through that manuscript.
You and Ricky are going to be studying that manuscript. Okay, so if you guys decide, like, kind of put all the pieces together, your decision is that in the morning you will go to the north side of town and find that automobile shop and perhaps where the body is. Okay. And tonight, Ricky and Mason will finish reading the scroll. Gertrude and Nellie will develop the photographs. Charlie, what are you doing?
Probably wandering the Galleria.
Okay. And Charlie is wandering by herself. Actually, though, Charlie, as you are wandering the Galleria by yourself, and it's pretty late now, with everybody up in the rooms, either studying or developing photographs, it is much later, closer to 11. However, after your excursion, kind of the night before, you're a little antsy to go back to sleep. And you hear a song. And it is that one you heard in the dream, the song.
It's the skin statue song?
Yeah. And it is beautiful. And you also realize you recognize it because it's also the same song that Katarina performed on the train. For you. And you hear it coming outside, maybe out in an alleyway.
I really want to go.
It's up to you. Charlie, what are you going to do?
I'm just gonna like peek in the alleyway. I'm not actually gonna go in, but I have my little pen flashlight because I have that written down. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I have a little pen flashlight.
Okay. Charlie, you peer into the alley, and the rest of you guys start to hear the refrains of this song kind of coming up and through your windows. Hauntingly beautiful, something you can never forget.
I guess I'll look out the window.
You are welcome to look out the window. Oh, where's it? I need. So here we go. Charlie, you peer out and you look down the alley. Would you roll a spot hidden?
No. I don't see anything.
What did you roll?
An 88.
Okay, it's not a fumble. It's just unsuccessful. So you are caught completely unaware when this lizard, a chameleon, seems to just like leap out of the darkness, and you feel like it's coming for your face, and so you scream and drop your pen light. And then it lands and scurries back into the darkness. And when you pick up your pen light and look down the alleyway, there is no one down there. and the song has stopped.
I'm gonna go see if I can find the chameleon.
Okay, you search for that chameleon for a few minutes, for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes. It disappeared. If you were the superstitious sort, you'd think, oh, maybe it turned to smoke and like drifted away, but we all know that can't happen.
Is there anything else down the alley?
A couple dirty footprints in the snow, but they're kind of jumbled together. It's hard to get any details from them.
Would I have seen anything out the window?
No, it was not coming from anywhere outside of your window. It seemed to you, Mason, it just sounded like it was floating on the air through the city.
Would I have been able to hear better, like, the lyrics to the song at all?
Yeah. So you were able to understand the lyrics this time, and you were recognizing this lyrics. And again, it's the one that you heard on the train about this woman who is having to make a choice between loving her father and choosing her love. And perhaps choosing her love will save her father. But there's always that choice of what are you going to do? And she just wants to be able to follow her heart.
Am I getting any heart feelings at this point?
No heart feelings.
Okay, I guess I'll just go back up to our room and ask everybody else if they heard anything.
Thanks. Ricky and Mason, you now have 2% in your mythos, Cthulhu mythos skill, and you lose 3 sanity from doing this reading.
Okay.
Totally fine.
You guys are fine. And Charlie, it sounds like everybody else heard it, but they don't know where it came from.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
And you all settle in for the night? Yes,
Quick
Gertrude?
thing. Just so I make sure I have my timeline straight. When did the automobile mechanic die versus when Gertrude or Katarina was last seen?
He died. Does it say in the article? He died like the day before Katarina disappeared.
Okay.
Like they found his body shortly before she disappeared. And
Okay.
so whether or not he died when she disappeared is a little unclear because, somebody reporting a disappearance of a person, it takes a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like he died before she disappeared.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys go to sleep. Prepare for the morning. And in the morning, I believe you are going to be heading up to the automobile factory and the place where Spinola's body was found.
Yes.
Okay. And then this is where we are going to pause for tonight. I hope you guys had fun. I hope it didn't drag on too much.
No, it's good. Thank you.
Good. And I hope all of our viewers enjoyed it. Thank you so much to all of our viewers for watching, for all of our fun chat comments. Thank you so much to Phantom of Truth, keeping us updated with all of his fact checks and the fact that the sun sets at 5:33 in January in Milan, because that's what we needed to know. But we appreciate that you do that, Phantom of Truth. It's always nice to have those accurate informations. Oh, and the chat did just say, Charlie, are you ready to show off your car skills? Because that's where we're going. I think we're going to have a chase scene, I think.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about it.
Good. Thank you to JD, our tech guru, keeping us on the air, keeping us going, and helping us to sound good. Thank you to Kelly Peck for the beautiful frames that you see every week here on our Call of Cthulhu night. She also does our Friday nights 13th age D&D game, Adventures in Gabbercan. It gets worse. She makes us look good, and we appreciate it. If you like what we do and you want to see more of this, please consider supporting us. You do that by either subscribing to our Twitch channel, to our YouTube channel, liking us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all those things, and even going to our Patreon and becoming a Patreon member. We also, Iconic Production just opened a Redbubble store. You can get our little dragon logo on a t-shirt or possibly a face mask or a bag or things. That's another great way to show support for us. Buying things with our logo. That's pretty cool. Yay, merch. If you are interested in supporting us, we can't do this without you. Without viewers, there's no point in continuing, so we are very thankful to you and all that you've done. If you are interested in Call of Cthulhu, check out chaosium.com. It has all the books, all the rules, all the character sheets, and a lot of it is free for you to get started. Super nice, super useful, and super friendly. So we hope you all have a wonderful week. If you're interested in watching any of our games this week, tomorrow night there will be Jackals here on the Iconic channel, and on Friday, like I said, there is our D&D 5th edition game. But we hope you all had a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Hope you have a lovely week and a good night. We will see you next week.